Good evening, everybody. So, hi, I'm Mikey. I'll be presenting something in detail as well. So, okay rin ako yung sumunod because the article is also in retail. So, most of the concepts that I'll be sharing is regarding Omni-Experience or Omnichannel retailing. So, maybe you've heard of it. And it's the case study about how um, the Omni-Experience is the way to save retailing because of the problems that I will show later moving on. So for the agenda for this presentation, I'll show a bit about the problem that retailers are experiencing right now. And we're looking at other customer experience innovation strategies. And then next, we'll go into the case study itself of La Feltrinelli, a Italian book retailer, and a bit of thoughts and conclusions as well. So one of the biggest problems in retail is retail stores have been closed in different locations, not just because of the pandemic, even before, because of the rise of online-based competitors such as Amazon, for example, Lazada, Shopee, etc. So we have a lot of competitors already on the online space, and sometimes the other retailers have a hard time catching up with this, especially in the book industry. So to give a bit of background based on the article, what customer experience is, it really originates from a set of interactions between a customer and a product and a company, or even part of an organization, which provokes a reaction. So it's any experience that we have with the company itself. For example, we can call it's part of the experience. We walk into its office or um, its store, it's part of the experience, and even having the product itself with you and bring it home is part of the whole customer experience. So initially, we have three three customer experience innovation strategies that the article mentioned. So for this one, we have hedonic engagement. So first is I'll go into detail in this in the later section, but basically it's sensorial and emotional kind of customer experience. And then we have omni-channel, which is cognitive and pragmatic. And finally, omni-experience, which focuses on lifestyle and relational. So let's go to hedonic engagement. So basically, hedonic is a view of consumption which deals with sensory and affective gratification that comes from the use of product or services. So for sensorial, it's really stimulating the five senses. So I guess in the Philippines, yung magandang example would be, for example, when you go to a Jollibee or parang pag dumadaan ka lang sa Jollibee, minsan naamoy mo yung Chicken Joy and then that stimulates your senses and you also bring back memories of where you're eating Jollibee with the family or maybe mga pamangkin, ganon, or anak. So there's where this hedonic kind of engagement comes in. It's basically emotional that it wants to give us some sort of mood or emotions to create a relationship with the company. Parang that's usually what happens in other like organizations or brands that they want that experience na naalala natin sila when these like for example Jollibee nga bida ang saya and then our moments with the family etc. So that's what happened. So in the article the they call this the example that was provided was Lush. So I'm not very familiar with the brand, but hindi ko alam kung actually yung ginagawa nila. I'm sorry. But when I did a little bit of research, basically they sell beauty cosmetics. So here in the left side, you can see their product. So their stores usually has like many colors. This uses strong smells na naamoy from afar, encourages customers even try their product. So it looks like a bazaar. At the same time, when you actually look at it, parang gusto mo siya kainin. So that's part of like their hedonic engagement with their customers. And then next slide would be omni-channel. I think a lot of us are very familiar with this. Parang medyo buzzword siya when we talk about retail and then innovations in retail. So in omni-channel, it mixes cognitive and pragmatic experiences. Cognitive, as we know, is like conscious engagement, dun sa reasoning, ganyan. of the mind. And then pragmatic is really parang related to the concept of the usability of the service. So in in simple terms, what this is telling us, mixing cognitive and pragmatic experiences, is that usually in retail, parang for example, when you're buying a book, it's just it's just isipin mo na lang logically where best to buy a book, and then the experience is not really that important to you, because what you really want in omni-channel is having different channels to choose from. For example, online, offline, or maybe I can buy um, in a 7-Eleven or something of this product, and also seamless experiences and multiple entry points. So a good example of this is Oasis. It was given in the book that they like have iPads in their stores. So the purpose of this is that we want, whenever our customer is in the store, they have this possible switch from one channel to another. So for example, I'm in a store. What I want to do is maybe I want to look around, and then afterwards maybe I can't look dun sa hinahanap ko, maybe ang laki ng store and I don't know where to go, etc. So pwede ko siya i-check using like the iPad itself. And this is what Omnichannel wants, that hindi mahirap yung switching between different experiences or channels for the customer, so that mas seamless yung experience nila. So they don't have, wala masyadong effort in terms of switching from different channels. So that's where like the customer experience starts, that better yung purchasing, like the purchasing process itself when they buy products. So next would be what we want to look at, which is, sorry, nawala yung may nakalagay dapat dyan. Anyway, finally, it's Omni-Experience. So this is Omni-Experience. It's mixing lifestyle and relational experiences. We'll dig deeper into this, but lifestyle is really the expression of values and beliefs of certain behaviors, and relational is like consumption of offering together with a similar network of people. In terms of Omni-Experience, this is when, I guess, ito yung, even for me, like when you come into innovations or new things, a very important thing is you understand the lifestyle of your customer, at the same time the community that you want to build with them. So for example, Italy is a large Italian marketplace offering online and physical retail. So what it does is, it's a big grocery. What you can do there is you can purchase food, at the same time you can buy groceries, and you also learn how to cook them. So it includes learning how to cook a meal, or even you can taste the meals in the restaurants inside. So it provides a lifestyle inside the stores where customers can eat together. People that share their own views and habits can like come together and form their own small community. So that is what we're doing in terms of Omni-Experience. So there's a difference between the two, where Omni-Channel is really better integration of everything, seamless experiences. But when we're already going deeper into the lives of our customers and giving them a community, that's what we call Omni-Experience. So next is we're going to move on to the case study. This is from La Feltrinelli, a big book retailer in Italy. Yeah. They have like 124 retail stores around, and it comprises of different kinds of stores like mega stores, local libraries, and even mall libraries. So one of the biggest problems that they have is the book and media industries were suffering considerably faster from the purchasing process offered by online retailers such as Amazon, etc. So I think they really hit, because when you think of a book, no, parang in terms of the experience that we have, like alam mo na naman siguro yung bibilin mo. For example, you want to look at this kind of book, you can go to Amazon or maybe just look it online, and I can even read snippets of it online already. So natatalo talaga sila in terms of those big online retailers on the product that they're selling. So what they wanted to do in terms of like looking into the problem itself, they wanted to establish themselves as a brand, a brand that is rooted in Italian culture and integrated into people's lives. they wanted to focus on the Italian tradition and the Italian way of life, so that customers perceive La Feltrinelli as like a brand close to people's hearts. So when they're looking at this, when they're conceptualizing how they want to fight Amazon or the big retailers, they really focus on the customer first. They're looking at what is our brand, what do we provide our customers that the online retailers can't provide. So what they did is they aimed to make people use and read the book inside the store. So they wanted to make them comfortable and understand how they read. So in the article, they showed that they were looking at how these Italian people read. For example, they always read the newspaper on the morning, and then, for example, students would love to have their study discussions as well in the afternoon, etc. So they were understanding where and when people are reading, and that's where they base their strategy into how they will solve the specific problem. So this is the framework that they went through. So we can see in the top corner, we have traditional store. And then here, there's product related experience and also living experience. In a traditional store, there's a store boundary. When you buy a product, that's it. For example, let's say you go to National Bookstore, you buy a product, you buy a book or something, and then that's it. And then it's not really part of your life or your living experience itself. But in terms of Omni-Experience store, they want you to experience they want to collide the product with also your living experiences. So it's not just bounded in, like, for example, this book, you're just buying a book, you're just purchasing a book, but it's really going beyond that and like combining your life and also the experience that they're having in the store. So the key design elements will go into this into more detail, but it's integrating the offering, integrating the spaces, empowering employees, and giving a flexible customer journey. So the solution that La Feltrinelli did was if you can call it a concept store. I think medyo popular naman to. They like create new concept stores, and we see maraming mga concept cafes, etc. So what they did is read, eat, dream, or they call it red stores. So basically, it's a multifunctional space with a bookstore at its core, plus a fully functional bar and restaurant. So if you can see this in the left side, parang the picture, it looks like pwedeng like a bookstore, tas parang pwede kang kumain sa loob, ganon. So that's what it looks like when I searched it in Google. So basically what they want to do here is bring activities customers typically do outside the store into the retail experience itself. What they do is they want to combine the experience of like reading books in other places and just do it here, and at the same time you can dine. So we'll go into deeper how the design elements fit in, but that's like what they really want to do or what they want to achieve for the Read, Eat, Dream store. Oops. So the four key design elements is mentioned here. So let's go to the first one. It's integrating the offering. So most of the meals offered in a red store are based on books, like they recall a specific region in which a novel is set. So in terms of the overall theme of like the concept store itself, when you're looking at it, they're integrating everything, not just, for example, like let's say based on the article, what they said is if you're familiar with Barnes and Noble in the US, it's a big bookstore as well. They have Barnes and Noble and Starbucks there. So for this, it's not really a novel concept that putting food or beverages inside the bookstore is like new or innovative. But what they said was when customers enter Barnes and Noble, they really know it's for the bookstore. That Barnes and Noble is a bookstore. And if they they go there and get a Starbucks, they know that it's Starbucks. So what integrating the offering means is there's a confusion when the customer enters a red store they don't really know, am I entering a bookstore or a restaurant? So that's what they plan on doing, really integrating the experience. And that's what makes it differentiated compared to other competitors in the market. Next is integrating the spaces. So if you can see, even in the previous picture, there's no division of spaces. Like, for example, ini-indicate niya na, for example, this place is for reading, this place is for eating, etc. So they're letting people choose the path and select what experience they want to do in the stores. So no walls, no aisles, other barriers. So the whole experience is based on the customer. And then we also have empowered employees. So usually here, in terms of the employees, when they have these kinds of stores, it's usually you have one person or some of the employees will be targeted to just focusing on the restaurant bar side of the business, and the other portion would be focused on the like as a like the bookstore part. So they know the books, they know the things that are inside the bookstore. So what they wanted to do was the employees, the frontline employees, should be able to address all needs of the customer. So they should be integrated, that these employees should also understand both the bookstore and also the bar and restaurant business. Then finally, we have the flexible customer experience. So I think I mentioned this earlier regarding integrating the spaces. So the product initially are there. So you don't, there's no clear way of telling the customer a specific journey. If you experience like other, for example, other retailers or even other products, they usually have a fixed customer journey that they want you to do this, they want you to do that, and etc. That's what we want our customer to just buy a book and that's it, or buy this product and that's it. So what they want to do in the store is make it very flexible to the customer, that they can choose. They want just to stay here, maybe you just want to read the book, or maybe you just want to eat, or you can do both. So that's what happened in creating a very flexible customer journey. So I mentioned this earlier, that I think this is the like takeaway that I have when they were like having an integrated experience, no, na when customers go to a red store, they don't have a clear idea whether they're entering a restaurant, a bookstore, or a restaurant. So everything is integrated. So that's the real difference between other competitors and other experiences that they have. Yeah. So finally, I'm going to my conclusion. So as you can see, in terms of the theme of the article, I think one of the biggest theme is really differentiation. That's the biggest part of what I see in terms of this innovation. So they really need to understand the customer through the consumption chain and customer experience. And what I like about this is they offer they offer the customers value that competitors don't have. So because at the start of the article, they were saying that our problem is really these online retailers are getting so much of the market, we can't sell books anymore. So what's happening is that uh, is they can't really fight head on with Amazon in terms of that. I think they know that because they had a different strategy. They can't fight Amazon because they have like a big network already. They have the logistical power. What they can do is focus on what they have and make it better. And most of the competitors can't really do that. And finally, this is also a good part of what I read of the article. We need to envision people's life experiences is a way to start an innovation process to shape like the company's retail services and Omni-Experience store. So if you're looking at Omni-Experience or Omni-Channel, it really starts with the customer at the core. So that's one of the things that is very important in terms of innovation, that you're really looking at the customer and understanding them, understanding their lifestyle, and also understanding how they relate with other people, so that you can build like a small community out of it. And of course, and that small community will go bigger and bigger and have really loyal customers. Yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you. I hope you learned something new.